We call on the white church in Boston to join us in supporting a black reparations movement.
Standing in solidarity, clergy leaders from across the city of Boston gathered for an interfaith, multiracial meeting at the Resurrection Lutheran Church in Roxbury, Nubian Square. They're here to ask the religious community to atone for black Boston suffering and support black reparations.
In this round, here's Charles Big Angry Adams.
I don't know why we cut that clip so short. If you would have played the whole thing, right, you would have heard that this organization that was multicultural was demanding that white churches give millions of dollars to black churches or the black community, and that the city of Boston give billions of dollars to African Americans, right? Boston, I was shocked, and they went on to say that they are coming for their check, I think was the quote. When I moved to Boston to go back to school after being a policeman, I was shocked at the level of classism and racism that was in that city, because I thought this European-like heart of elite education. You have Harvard, MIT, BU, BC, more colleges in Boston than anywhere, that it would be somewhat more enlightened, right? I did not find that to be the case, but it wasn't just racial lines, it was also on wealth lines and Brahmin and all this nonsense. But we have had a history of a lot of people having bad times. There are huge economic shackles created by slavery and Jim Crow, although slavery was eradicated in Boston, I believe, before the formation of the country. At some point, we have to stop marching out and just demanding free money. We're seeing this happen with there is a program in Michigan that is giving free money to immigrants, illegal entrants who relocate there. We're seeing horrifying numbers that NBC has been trying to get from cities that are putting people in hotels that are from other countries and doing very little. Instead of demanding millions from churches, instead of demanding billions from the city to go to just one racial classification, maybe we should start addressing the overarching issues in America for all Americans. We love to use like universal health care. It doesn't mean health care if you have a job. Universal daycare. It doesn't mean daycare if you got a job. Well, why do you need it if you don't have a job or you're resourced out? We talk about your universal benefits, income, right? If you look at every program, it is not for white people, right? At the end of the day, we need to fix the lack of hope and the poverty in America that Obama promised to address but failed to. And we don't do that by separating people by race. And honestly, the suggestion that white churches somehow are defined by their whiteness and they owe millions of dollars to other people or other churches, unless that church itself was somehow involved in some sort of oppression, in most churches
Are
we're
you
not.
ready to be educated?
No,
You've been talking for 4 minutes straight.
Hey, go
Are
ahead.
you ready to be educated?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I applaud those black leaders for speaking and putting out there the call for reparations.
Okay.
Reparations to the descendants of America's former slaves is not asking for a free check. It's asking that the historical restitution for slavery and Jim Crow legislation and segregation and the economic benefit this country gained from slavery be given fair, just compensation to the descendants of America's former slaves. Do you realize that the first slave ship to come to America was blessed by the Pope himself? And the Pope, John Pius VI, put a tax on every slave ship that came from Africa to America. A tax was paid to the Catholic Church, and the first ship was named Jesus. Every major Christian institution in this country benefited indirectly and some even more directly from slavery. Black slaves were forced to build all of the churches in the South, in this country, and the North during slavery for free. And so when they asked for reparations, ain't no such thing about a free damn check. America promised at the end of slavery.
I didn't say anything about a free
promised
check. I talked about
30 acres and a mule.
Universal solutions.
We never
for all
got
Americans.
30 acres and a mule.
Well, I didn't either.
And the United States Congress and Senate promised it to us. Do you realize, Charles,
How many-
that the United States government paid reparations to slave owners for the loss of their property?
Okay.
How can you agree
do you
that
realize-
slave owners could be paid reparations for the loss of black slaves as property, but say black folk don't deserve reparations and we asking for something free?
What I'm saying is that we had 1.6% of the American population at its zenith owned slaves, right? It's typically a much far,
That's
far
the lie
lower
you
number.
white folks tell.
No, it's absolutely not a lie.
When you do the numbers.
Now, again, I know truth
When you
hurts
do
your
the
ears
numbers. When it
because
comes to
all you do
slavery,
is lie.
white folks ain't never
But
told the truth in America.
I am not opposed to free checks. What I'm talking about is we need to find solutions for all Americans and the problems that are facing America. Now, are there more problems that need to be addressed more earnestly in impoverished black communities? Of course there are. And used to, Quanell of yesteryear, you didn't want a free check. What you wanted was solutions. But now
And
you
I don't
want
believe
money.
in that right now.
Okay.
I
so-
do not believe in reparations being paid as individual checks.
Oh, okay.
As
'Cause
individual
it
checks,
sounded
I've
like
never
you
believed in that.
did.
I've never believed in that, Charles.
Okay, you just wanted,
because my teacher,
you wanted to
the
go to-
Honorable Minister
you wanted to go
Farrakhan
to
told us
organizations.
that if you give
You
black folks a
wanted to
check,
go to
we'll give it back to our
organizations.
oppressors tomorrow. We
Okay.
needed to build infrastructure,
It
to
needs-
build business.
It needs to go to the new Black
healthcare,
Panthers or
education.
whatever. Yeah, that's the
It goes to
absolute
all of us
nonsense.
to
That's
uplift
the
all of us,
absolute-
not individual
goes
checks.
to you.
One minute, Vic.